Are you wondering how to create content that converts on Instagram? Well, you've come to the right place because today we are talking about how to use Instagram to get sales leads and how to move people to your sales offer. But before we get into it, if you want weekly marketing tips about social media and how to grow your business and get leads, click that subscription button below and also the notification so that you never miss a weekly episode. All right, let's dive in. So today we have a special guest joining us. His name is Kevin Kwan, and he is an ex-conversion copywriter turned coach. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Awesome. So please tell people a little bit about how you came up with this concept that teaches people, how to create less content and make more money.
Well, when I was a freelance copywriter, aka gun for hire, I would be writing content and funnels for people's launches. And some of these lists can range from 5,000 people in their email list and Facebook group, all the way up to like 50K. And it was just a lot of work creating all that content to really just be on top of mind all the time. And that was the thinking at the time, like 3 or 5 years ago. And as a copywriter, I'm trying to figure out how to not just optimize my clients' conversion rates so they make more money, but obviously my time, because I was paid pretty much based on my time. If I wasn't working, then I wasn't making money. So I knew there had to be an easier way. And I figured out, based on human psychology, just through a conversation with just my wife one day, and I made a suggestion, an idea to kind of fix one of her problems. And she didn't do it, but then the next 2 days later she came back, oh, I did this thing and I got and I fixed it. And I'm like, what'd you do? And it was the same thing that I told her. So, but it was somebody else that told her. So right there was an aha moment, because this recalled back in my corporate days where the same thing would happen with even your boss or a colleague. And it hit me. It needs to be the person's idea to be able to, for them to commit and accept whatever whatever you're saying. So that's kind of the birth of this self-diagnostic hierarchy, which we'll go through today. And figuring this out, we can actually write less because we're writing more impactful content that's going to allow them to shift their beliefs and allow them to self-diagnose a little bit. And then when they can self-diagnose, it becomes their idea and they're more receptive of the next thing, rather than continually to pump content out and just hope that like something lands. It's like pushing advice onto somebody when they're not ready to take it.
It's interesting. I'm kind of giggling here because in the wives club, a lot of my girlfriends, we figured this out. Don't tell the husband that it was your idea. Make him think it was his idea.
Yes.
But it's very true. And, I find that people sometimes won't take advice from the people that are closest to them. But if they are paying for that advice and they have chosen to put their money and investment into taking that advice, then they'll take it more seriously and actually apply it. Do you find this to be true?
Oh, 100%. And, also, to even get somebody to even make a sale, it also needs to be their idea as well. So it kind of goes back to that human psychology. It's like we want to self-actualize and figure things out for ourselves because it's more satisfying.
All right. So how can we create content that converts on Instagram? And how do we know what we need to post?
Perfect. So that's a great question. So there are these 5 groups of people on that are following you. And, for fact, we don't know everybody's beliefs. We don't know where they came from, what they bought, and even what they want. And if you have a lot of followers, even in, let's say, 10K followers, it's going to be very hard for you to ask all that and ask all the questions, get to the deeper meaning. So there's this framework that I've developed called the 5 levels of the self-diagnostic hierarchy, which speaks to all these different groups. And each of these groups, you need to talk to them differently with your content. And what content you create for one bucket of people might not resonate with another bucket of people. And if I may, could I share my screen and just show you the visual for you and your
Absolutely.
audience. Awesome.
Mhm.
So at the bottom, okay, we have one bucket of people. And then as you can see at the top of the pinnacle of this triangle, we have another bucket of people. Now, the lower you go, the width of this is the amount of clients that are in here. There's less people who really know about you,
Mm.
that would buy from you, that trust you. And as you can see on this x-axis, this is the length of buying time. That's how much longer it's going to take somebody to get to the top. So let's just kind of describe these 5 levels first. This will make more sense. So at the bottom level, you got people that only have a desire. So
Can you give us
I
an
want to lose
example?
weight.
Okay, perfect. You lose weight.
Yeah, like
The
I
bottom.
want to lose weight. That's it. But I don't know what problem I have that's preventing me from losing weight. I just want to feel lighter. I just want my knees not to hurt. I just want to fit in my pants, desires. And the next level, so I don't know I have a problem yet until your content speaks to me and raises me up to, oh, well, your problem is you're eating too much. Use keeping the example simple. So the problem is you're eating too much and you're eating too many carbs, let's say.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Now I self-diagnose that, maybe that is why I do eat too much carbs. And then suddenly I know my problem, I'm aware of them, but I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. Well, how do I not? Because like I crave carbs, like I love them. And so I'm looking for all these different solutions to help me lose weight, to curb my carb cravings. And maybe come on to, so I'm looking for different ones. I'm like paleo, keto, acupuncture to maybe get rid of my cravings for carbs. So now I'm at a solution bucket. I've looked for every single solution out there and to try and lose this weight and that maybe has a nutrition plan that allows me to eat a little bit of carbs. But then there's the next level. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Having carbs does XYZ to me and it stunts my fat loss hormones. So maybe it's keto that I need. So now I'm at this next level where I know it's keto. Okay, so how do I get started on this keto diet to start losing this weight? So now I could be looking at different coaches, I could be looking at books. I just know that I need a keto diet. That's what I've settled on. And then finally at the top is, all
So
right,
Kevin, let me interrupt you. Explain a little bit more about the difference between the solution and the product. So if
sure.
is the solution the fact that you shouldn't be eating that many carbs, like you have to eat less carbs, and then the product is keto? Is that the
So
difference?
the solution is actually they're looking for every single solution out there.
Okay.
Okay, that has to do with carbs and no carbs. They're just to help them lose weight and has something to do with carbs. Now it can be
So it could be
directly related to
Atkins.
nutrition. Yeah,
Okay.
it could be directly related to nutrition, paleo, low carb, whatever it is, all the way to cravings management, like fringe stuff like acupuncture,
Hmm.
energy work, meditation, hypnosis. They're just everywhere. So here in the weight loss world, under solution aware, this bucket of people, we call those are the yo-yo dieters.
Okay.
Oh,
So
excuse me.
they're aware that there is a solution and they're kind of looking at all the different options. But then the
Exactly.
product is where they've decided, you know what, actually keto is for me.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
So now at product aware, I know I need keto. Now I just need to know who do I trust, who do I follow, and who am I going to invest in, who has the best offer, and that's the top of the triangle.
Hmm.
So at the top of the triangle, these people are just waiting for you to make an offer. Excuse me, I just got a little tickle in my throat. And they are waiting to see how much is it, what does it involve, and what are the benefits of the offer.
Hmm.
So these are the 5 buckets. Now, when it comes to content and how do we apply this using some of the examples, each of these levels, you need to speak to, well, at the bottom, speak to their desires, right? Because there's a lot of people in that bucket that have a want. If you want to talk to problem people, then talk to the problems that they're dealing with right now,
Hmm.
right? That's holding them back from losing weight. Okay. In this case, we use the example of carbs. And then for solution and how you can apply and how we can apply that in our Instagram content is start off the post as talking about why those other solutions aren't working because they're looking. And then product aware, talk about why your product, like why your product is better than the other stuff, why your framework, why your process is better. And finally, if you want to hit whoever is on the fence, that's when this is the easiest one, is make an offer and see
Okay.
who takes it.
So how do you do this? So this I'm looking at, and it kind of looks like an upside down sales funnel, right?
Yeah.
So with a traditional sales funnel, what people technically do is, they see an ad, they're aware that they have that problem, or that this is a potential solution. So they go to a webinar or something else, and then they just kind of get funneled down. And when it comes to posting, what I'm thinking as I'm looking at this, what if it was a highlight? So let's say you did, a bunch of stories, and then you kind of take
Mhm.
people through this process through your highlights, because the highlights are at the very top of your
Mhm.
profile. And then you can start talking about and actually have it kind of chronological. So again,
Mhm.
if somebody's brand new and visiting your profile and you're now at this use stage, they may kind of not be aware that they even have that problem. So if they,
Mhm.
click on your highlight and it kind of takes them through this process, like, would
Mhm.
that be a good solution for Instagram specifically?
Yeah, then that is an excellent strategy there, because for that way, if they don't resonate with maybe that one part, they can just kind of skip to another part, and one of those are going to hit.
Yeah.
How do we structure these posts? So the structure, and so first off, you got to pick who you need to talk to. So for example, if I want to talk to a desire aware level, then the first 4 sentences of your Instagram post is going to dictate who you're talking to. And if I were talking to desire aware level for somebody that wants to lose weight, something simple as, imagine if you could finally get into a size 6 and put on those pants again. Okay, desire. Okay, this kind of goes into, and just what you teach, you got to know your avatar before you even know all this stuff. So you got to know what they want already. So you're talking to them in the first 4 sentences. That dictates who you're talking to. If I was talking to a problem aware, then my first 4 sentences would start is, your eating too much carbs will prevent you from losing any weight and hold on to your fat forever. So that's a problem that's holding them back from the desire. Is that making sense?
It is. And again, I'm trying to visually picture what this would look like on the post versus, the actual post versus the stories versus the highlights versus reels,
Mm,
things like that. Like, how would you structure it so that it kind of has a bit of a flow when you're on Instagram? So let's say I'm a brand new person. I've never followed, let's say, a weight loss
mhm,
coach, and I
mhm.
go on their profile. What would their feed kind of look like?
Well, in your highlights and such, you have to give me in chronological order,
Mhm.
because you can do this for video too. It's not just written. So it's just what you say or what you write is going to dictate what bucket you're talking to.
Mhm.
And just like you say, anybody can be following you at any time, and that's totally fine. And that's why when you're creating that content calendar, just like you have your 30-day content calendar for ideas,
Mhm.
you got to plan your content first. So it's actually based off when you're going to make your offers first,
Mhm.
because you always want to serve the people that are in your like in your world already. And then because there are always going to be people that are going to be moving up to get ready to buy from you, and there's always going to be people moving in, and that's fine, that's great, we want that. So we want to plan where we want to make our offers first. So
Mhm.
let's say if I plan to make an offer on Saturday, like a sales offer or with a CTA, then I would need to plan backwards from there,
Yeah.
right? Because offer is you aware. They have to know you, trust you, and like you
Mhm.
before they even want to buy the thing. So
Right.
now you got to plan, okay, working backwards, Saturday. So what do they need to know before I need to make this offer?
So if we were making offers, it would be something
Mhm.
like a launch, like if you're a coach and you're doing a group coaching program, a launch,
Yep.
or maybe you're preparing for a specific holiday, maybe
Mhm.
Christmas or, Valentine's Day or whatever. So you kind of work it backwards like that full
Yes.
funnel. And so most of your content is going to be just kind of like problem, awareness, solution. And then as you're getting closer to that offer, you start talking more specifically to the product and that kind of thing. And then on the day of or the day before. So, how many days before would you really kind of get to the bottom of that funnel?
So that's a good question too, because the simplest way is obviously go from desire to you,
Mhm.
but we know that sometimes everything's not perfect. So that's why I'm saying plan your offers first. If I'm going to do a Saturday, let's say in a month, then I would plan all my content. And then by the time I make that offer, they're going to know what they need. So, for example, I might do a couple of product posts, couple of solutions, a few problems, and maybe 5 desire posts, because that's where the most clients are.
Mhm.
If I had, let's say I take sales calls and I want to do an offer for call bookings
Mhm.
on, let's say, Friday, or let's use Saturday, for example, then I might talk about on Friday about what the sales call is going to be like. And maybe I might share some of the stuff that we go through, some of the stuff that's unique to me. And maybe on Wednesday, I might post a solution, and maybe on Monday, I'll post a problem.
Cool.
And then after you make your offer, it resets.
Mhm.
So you reset back to, okay, how many people have taken an offer? Okay, I got 5 less. So maybe I'll just start some desire posts next week before my next offer and push more people up the triangle.
That makes a lot of sense. Cool. Well, if you guys like what you're learning so far, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell because we have these episodes coming to you every single week. So Kevin, I know we covered a lot here, but what are some last kind of key tips on how to use Instagram to get these sales leads?
Oh, perfect. So one of them we already talked about is plan your offers first, work backwards. After you make your offer, it resets. The next one is CTAs. I see a lot of people just trying to spam on Instagram.
For those
Yeah.
of you that don't know, CTAs stands for call to action.
Gotcha. Thanks for that. See, I'm in my own world using my own language. So call to actions, like what you want the reader or the viewer to do. And a lot of times I just see, hey, buy my stuff. Here's the CTA. And they do it over and over again, like five times a day. And, that only speaks to you, which we learn, that burns out. So to make a stronger CTA, you have to give people a reason why they need to click on it. And you always want to lead with benefits. Okay, here's the benefits of this thing that I'm offering. Benefit 1, 2, 3, and then click on here if you want to find out more or explore this.
How would you explain what benefits are versus features? Because I really want people to know the difference. Because sometimes I see people listing off features rather than benefits.
Yeah, so I'll relate it to like course stuff because I deal a lot of our clients who have courses. So a feature would be you're going to get 12 modules, you're going to get worksheets. Those are all features. The benefit is, well, what is the benefit of having, I don't know, 12 modules? Well, the benefit could be that you're going to get an in-depth understanding where every nook and cranny of what you need to know to do is going to help you figure out this weight loss plateau. Worksheets, not sexy, feels like school. That question when I was when I was a copywriter is you always ask, so what? Okay, so you have a worksheet, so what? And
Great.
why does that help me?
Yeah,
And then you'll figure out your benefits.
that's so great. Let me just reiterate that. So if you're trying to figure out if you're listing a benefit versus a feature, ask yourself, so what? And then whatever answer you come up with, that is probably going to be the benefit. That's a great tip. I love it.
Great point. Awesome. So yeah, lead with benefits before you give the call to action. And the last thing is actually it's less tactical, but it's more thinking. So you want to recognize the patterns from your sales offers, meaning look back at some of your sales offers, which ones have created the most sales, okay, that are working, and which ones didn't work. This is imperative because every time you make an offer, that's data. Your audience is telling you, hey, I resonate with what you're talking about here before I bought this thing, or I resonate maybe with the types of photos, and you'll recognize these things, what we call patterns. And I think that's a very powerful thing that is not talked a lot about, that we need to understand with our audience so that we can write less and make more money. The people who aren't posting everywhere and every single day and still making 20K with 2 kids, working 20 hours a week, they know their audience so well because they recognize the patterns of what they respond to.
All right, Kevin, those were such amazing tips. And if you guys want more Instagram marketing ideas, content, posting tips, check out these videos right here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.